whether by the RTI or whether from the court. The second exposure that has come across, that is a statement of an army personnel. We have accessed a 5 army personnel statement, the statement that was fabricated by the ATS back in 2008. But though army personnel has been declared as an hostile, now what we have come across of a statement, again, army personnel, clearly mentioning, if I read out the statement, which clearly mentions that Srivastava had also threatened me that he will also implicate me in this case as implicated to Purohit. So this is a Saffron terror hoax which has come across, and we will continue with our investigation in this entire Malegaon blast case 2008.
Let's go across to my colleague Alisha and my colleague Sandeep, who will also be joining us on this broadcast, getting you the latest details of the investigation that's been carried out so far. So first we told you about the narco analysis. The question that was raised was the fact that if at all a narco test was actually done, then why is it that the Maharashtra anti-terrorist squad never relied upon it? There is no answer to it. In fact, the accused in this particular case went to the court seeking details of the investigation and the narco analysis CD, but that never happened. And thereafter, there have been inconsistencies in the witnesses, the statements that have been recorded. First, it was the Maharashtra Anti-Terrorist Squad that was investigating the matter, and then it was the National Investigation Agency. So what's the latest that we have on this story tonight? Joining me is my colleague Alisha from the Mumbai newsroom. We'll also bring in Sandeep in a short while from now, who's been tracking the story very closely along with my colleague Alisha. Alisha, we're talking about another big expose. This expose is about Lieutenant Colonel Purohit. How it was allegedly fixed. The fact that there were links with the RDX, then the fact there was an allegation that was leveled that it was Lieutenant Colonel Purohit who was part of this entire conspiracy. What's the truth?
Well, Shravan, now we have a statement that has been recorded by an army personnel before the Special NI Court. The statement which was recorded on 6th of August 2022. If I read the statement, which clearly mentioned that I have stated in the court of inquiry whatever I have deposed today in the examination in chief, it is correct to say that Srivastava has also threatened me that he will also implicate me in this case as implicated to Purohit. So this clearly shows the Saffron terror hoax, which clearly shows that what they were continuously making, and they were implicating specifically the Colonel Purohit in this entire case. Because what we know, we have been investigating into this entire case from the day one. We have been saying there was a narco report which was asked by the accused continuously, but they were never provided. Moreover, it was an army personal statement, the statement that was recorded back then in 2008. And when they were brought before the court for the testimony, where they were declared as an hostile. Why? Because the statement which we have, the 5 army statement which we have accessed, that statement clearly mentioned that there were no statement earlier that was recorded in 2008, after which they were declared as an hostile. And now this is a statement of an army personnel. So this clearly shows that it was a clear cut of implicating Purohit, Lieutenant Colonel Purohit in this entire case. Because it has also been mentioning that there were officers who were pressuring them, they were threatening them. And it has clearly mentioned that how they implicated Purohit, they will also implicate the same witness. So such kind of witness statement that we have been accepting, it's a clear expose of this Malegaon blast, the Saffron terror hoax. And there are more things that need to be, because now it is 82 witnesses, more statement that has to be recorded before the Special NI Court. But as we know that there are 29 witnesses that have turned hostile, and most of them are the army personnel as well, where the statement was never recorded back then in 2008, and now they have been declared hostile.
Well, let me also quickly bring in my colleague Sandeep, who's been tracking this story also very closely. In fact, some of the statements that were brought in earlier by Sandeep, what is amply clear from the exposures that we have done so far, Sandeep, is that multiple inconsistencies. And the fact that we are staring at a long drawn trial that has only frustrated many accused in this particular case. In fact, we've also seen Lieutenant Colonel Purohit already moving an application for a discharge in this entire matter. And in the proceedings, they've essentially raised this entire question that if at all there was any allegation sticking on to Lieutenant Colonel Purohit, then the army would not have kept him. He would have been suspended. He's very much serving the army even as we speak right now. Sandeep, a quick recap of the major flaws in the investigation that has been carried out by the anti-terrorist squad.
See, Shravan, if you go through with the, as we started up exposing, this case, how it was investigated. If you go through with that anti-terrorist squad investigation, and if in the start also, when one of the accused had tried, seeking the report of narco test, so far there hasn't been any, narco test CD been allotted to the accused, and in fact, it hasn't been made public. In fact, there was an application given in the court as well to publish that CD, wherein the video recording of narco text is there, but so far it hasn't been revealed. Now, each and every day there is a continuous hearing over the case, and in fact an application by Colonel Purohit and also Sadhvi Pragya. In fact, the application for discharge of allegations is listed tomorrow at Bombay High Court on Sadhvi Pragya. It will be crucial to see what happens in this case. But at this point of time, whether you go through the statements of the accused who have been in fact made accused, whether it is Sadhvi Pragya, whether it is Colonel Purohit, or the other who were made accused, be it Sameer Kulkarni or Major Ramesh Upadhyay, they have several times made allegations on the investigation of ATS. And remember, in the past also, NIA had given clean chit to Sadhvi Pragya, but yes, as the case is under trial, the trial is still underway, and in fact, day by day, each and every day by day, another witness gets hostile, and it will be very much crucial to see the who was the main conspirator or who was the person behind all this conspiracy, who had in fact given birth to the name Saffron terrorism. So far, it will be very much crucial to go with the trial that is happening in the court, Shravan. But yes, once more and more witnesses comes and give their testimony in the court, the picture will be more clear.
Let me also now bring in my colleague Alisha, who's getting us more details of the statements that were basically recorded by the National Investigation Agency. Just for the better understanding of our viewers, one, most of these statements were first recorded by the Maharashtra Anti-Terrorist Squad. There were witnesses that they were essentially relying on. What turns out from our expose is the fact that the National Investigation Agency has recorded the same very witnesses, but they have given a different version altogether. Is that correct?
Well, yes, Shravan, because this is a statement that has been recorded by National Investigation Agency, is something recorded before the magistrate court, specifically the designated court, which is the special NI court, that is under section 164. So this is something on record before the court, and what we have been seeing, we are continuously witnessing the statement given by the witness, whether the fact it was recorded back then in 2008 by Maharashtra ATS, who was investigating, and initially they were investigating into the case and the statement and the charge that has also been filed by ATS. And the second thing, when NI in 2011, when National Investigation Agency took over the Malegaon bomb blast case, where there were again witnesses were called in. And now when the trial is underway, there are all the witnesses who has been called in before the court, and they have been recording the statement. Till now, there are more than 100 witnesses. Their testimony has been recorded before the court. But what has been transpired in this entire investigation, where the people, the witnesses, whether it is the army personnel, we even saw in the last part of investigation where the army personnel statement was fabricated. Fabricated in what way? Because the statement that was recorded back then in 2008, they have never recorded the statement is what they have said before the court. But now the new statement that has been emerged and that has came into it, it clearly shows that the person was threatened. He was threatened by the
और हम बहुत अच्छे बहुमत के साथ फिर से एक बार सरकार बनेंगे।
लेकिन इस माहौल के बीच आप कांग्रेस और आम आदमी पार्टी को कहां देखते हैं सर?
देखिए, मेरा किसी भी पार्टी के लिए टिप्पणी करना ठीक नहीं है, मगर हम अप्रत्याशित मार्जिन के साथ इस बार जीतने जा रहे हैं।
सर, गुजरात में भारतीय जनता पार्टी एंटी रेडिकलाइजेशन एक्ट को लेकर, सेल को लेकर बात कर रही है। इसे क्या अब राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर देखने को मिलेगा?
देखिए, एक एक्सपेरिमेंट है, प्रोएक्टिव एक्शन है, और मुझे लगता है कि बहुत जरूरी एक्शन है। बहुत अच्छा निर्णय लिया है प्रदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने। एक बार यहाँ पर सेल चालू हो जाएगा, बहुत सारे राज्य भी इसको स्टडी करके अपने अपने यहाँ लाएंगे।
लेकिन सर, इस पर अभी से विपक्ष राजनीति करने लगा है।
वो ठीक है, उनका काम है, वो करे, जनता को निर्णय करना।
सर, अंतिम सवाल, जब भी चुनाव होते हैं विपक्ष या हो या कांग्रेस को, वो अपशब्दों का इस्तेमाल करने लगती है। इसे कैसे देखते हैं? इस बार भी चुनाव में यही हुआ।
देखिए, जितनी बार अपशब्दों का प्रयोग विशेषकर मोदी जी के लिए किया, कांग्रेस को गुजरात की जनता ने चुनाव में दंड देने का काम किया है। मुझे लगता है इस बार भी गुजरात की जनता बैलेट बॉक्स के अंदर इसका जवाब दे।
कितनी सीटें इस बार? कितनी सीटें इस बार?
हम सारे रिकॉर्ड तोड़ेंगे अप्रत्याशित बहुमत के साथ।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। तो ये थे केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह, जिन्होंने कहा कि अप्रत्याशित बहुमत के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी गुजरात में इस बार अपनी सरकार बनाने जा रही है। साथ ही साथ उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि एंटी रेडिकलाइजेशन सेल को लेकर जिस बात का जिक्र प्रदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने किया है, उसकी स्टडी होगी, उस पर काम होगा, और फिर अलग अलग राज्य भी इस पर स्टडी करके इसे आगे बढ़ाने का काम करेंगे। लेकिन जहां अगर बात की जाए कांग्रेस और आम आदमी पार्टी की, तो उस पर टिप्पणी करने से उन्होंने साफ इनकार कर दिया। विजय संजीव के साथ दीपेश परगले, रिपब्लिक भारत।
Well, in fact, a big statement now coming in by Union Home Minister Amit Shah about a anti-radicalization cell on an experimental basis. It would basically be started in Gujarat, and if it essentially works, then in all likelihood, a proposal would be brought in to bring this entire plan into effect in the entire country. Now, multiple news points coming in from the interview, the exclusive interview given by the Union Home Minister Amit Shah to my colleague from Republic Bharat. But the big news coming in, an anti-radicalization cell is an experiment in Gujarat. More study would be done about it. In fact, we'll try and play out that interview that has been given, the exclusive interview given by Union Home Minister Amit Shah, a massive statement made by the Union Minister. This comes at a time when questions essentially have been raised about several sleeper cells being activated in various parts of the country, and we have essentially seen the impact that radicalization has essentially had in southern states like Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. In fact, the Union Home Ministry has essentially indicated that there has been large-scale radicalization. In fact, before in the Parliament also, the data that was provided by the Ministry of Home Affairs essentially indicates that there has been a growing trend. And that is one of the reasons why we are essentially looking at this big statement coming in from the Home Minister only on Republic TV. Let's listen in to what the Union Home Minister had to say.
और इस वक्त केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं, जो रोड शो कर रखे हैं। सर, लगातार आपकी रैली हो या रोड शो, माहौल ऐसा ही रहता है, लेकिन इस बार गुजरात का चुनावी माहौल क्या कहता है?
बहुत अच्छा माहौल है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में माहौल है, और हम बहुत अच्छे बहुमत के साथ फिर से एक बार सरकार बनेंगे।
लेकिन इस माहौल के बीच आप कांग्रेस और आम आदमी पार्टी को कहां देखते हैं सर?
देखिए, मेरा किसी भी पार्टी के लिए टिप्पणी करना ठीक नहीं है, मगर हम अप्रत्याशित मार्जिन के साथ इस बार जीतने जा रहे हैं।
सर, गुजरात में भारतीय जनता पार्टी एंटी रेडिकलाइजेशन एक्ट को लेकर, सेल को लेकर बात कर रही है। इसे क्या अब राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर देखने को मिलेगा?
देखिए, एक एक्सपेरिमेंट है, प्रोएक्टिव एक्शन है, और मुझे लगता है कि बहुत जरूरी एक्शन है। बहुत अच्छा निर्णय लिया है प्रदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने। एक बार यहाँ पर सेल चालू हो जाएगा, बहुत सारे राज्य भी इसको स्टडी करके अपने अपने यहाँ लाएंगे।
लेकिन सर, इस पर अभी से विपक्ष राजनीति करने लगा है।
वो ठीक है, उनका काम है, वो करे, जनता को निर्णय करना।
सर, अंतिम सवाल, जब भी चुनाव होते हैं विपक्ष या हो या कांग्रेस को, वो अपशब्दों का इस्तेमाल करने लगती है। इसे कैसे देखते हैं? इस बार भी चुनाव में यही हुआ।
देखिए, जितनी बार अपशब्दों का प्रयोग विशेषकर मोदी जी के लिए किया, कांग्रेस को गुजरात की जनता ने चुनाव में दंड देने का काम किया है। मुझे लगता है इस बार भी गुजरात की जनता बैलेट बॉक्स के अंदर इसका जवाब देगी।
कितनी सीटें इस बार? कितनी सीटें इस बार?
हम सारे रिकॉर्ड तोड़ेंगे अप्रत्याशित बहुमत के साथ।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और इस वक्त केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं जो रोड शो कर रहे हैं। सर, लगातार आपकी रैली हो या रोड शो, माहौल ऐसा ही रहता है, लेकिन इस बार गुजरात का चुनावी माहौल क्या कहता है?
बहुत अच्छा माहौल है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में माहौल है और हम बहुत अच्छे बहुमत के साथ फिर से एक बार सरकार बनेंगे।
लेकिन इस माहौल के बीच आप कांग्रेस और आम आदमी पार्टी को कहां देखते हैं सर?
देखिए, मेरा किसी भी पार्टी के लिए टिप्पणी करना ठीक नहीं है, मगर हम अप्रत्याशित मार्जिन के साथ इस बार जीतने जा रहे हैं।
सर, गुजरात में भारतीय जनता पार्टी एंटी रेडिकलाइजेशन एक्ट को लेकर, सेल को लेकर बात कर रही है, इसे क्या आप राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर देखने को मिलेगा?
देखिए, एक एक्सपेरिमेंट है, प्रोएक्टिव एक्शन है और मुझे लगता है कि बहुत जरूरी एक्शन है। बहुत अच्छा निर्णय लिया है प्रदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने। एक बार यहाँ पर सेल चालू हो जाएगा, बहुत सारे राज्य भी इसको स्टडी करके अपने अपने यहाँ लाएंगे।
लेकिन सर, इस पर अभी से विपक्ष राजनीति करने लगा है।
वो ठीक है, उनका काम है, वो करे, जनता को निर्णय करना।
सर, अंतिम सवाल, जब भी चुनाव होते हैं विपक्ष या हो या कांग्रेस को, वो अपशब्दों का इस्तेमाल करने लगती है, इसे कैसे देखते हैं? इस बार भी चुनाव में यही हुआ।
देखिए, जितनी बार अपशब्दों का प्रयोग विशेषकर मोदी जी के लिए किया, कांग्रेस को गुजरात की जनता ने चुनाव में दंड देने का काम किया है। मुझे लगता है इस बार भी गुजरात की जनता बैलेट बॉक्स के अंदर इसका जवाब देगी।
कितनी सीटें इस बार? कितनी सीटें इस बार?
हम सारे रिकॉर्ड तोड़ेंगे अप्रत्याशित बहुमत के साथ।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। और इस वक्त केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं जो रोड शो कर रहे हैं। सर, लगातार आपकी रैली हो या रोड शो, माहौल ऐसा ही रहता है, लेकिन इस बार गुजरात का चुनावी माहौल क्या कहता है?
बहुत अच्छा माहौल है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में माहौल है और हम बहुत अच्छे बहुमत के साथ फिर से एक बार सरकार बनेंगे।
लेकिन इस माहौल के बीच आप कांग्रेस और आम आदमी पार्टी को कहां देखते हैं सर?
देखिए, मेरा किसी भी पार्टी के लिए टिप्पणी करना ठीक नहीं है, मगर हम अप्रत्याशित मार्जिन के साथ इस बार जीतने जा रहे हैं।
सर, गुजरात में भारतीय जनता पार्टी एंटी रेडिकलाइजेशन एक्ट को लेकर, सेल को लेकर बात कर रही है, इसे क्या आप राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर देखने को मिलेगा?
देखिए, एक एक्सपेरिमेंट है, प्रोएक्टिव एक्शन है और मुझे लगता है कि बहुत जरूरी एक्शन है। बहुत अच्छा निर्णय लिया है प्रदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने। एक बार यहाँ पर सेल चालू हो जाएगा, बहुत सारे राज्य भी इसको स्टडी करके अपने अपने यहाँ लाएंगे।
लेकिन सर, इस पर अभी से विपक्ष राजनीति करने लगा है।
वो ठीक है, उनका काम है, वो करे, जनता को निर्णय करना।
सर, अंतिम सवाल, जब भी चुनाव होते हैं विपक्ष या हो या कांग्रेस को, वो अपशब्दों का इस्तेमाल करने लगती है, इसे कैसे देखते हैं? इस बार भी चुनाव में यही हुआ।
देखिए, जितनी बार अपशब्दों का प्रयोग विशेषकर मोदी जी के लिए किया, कांग्रेस को गुजरात की जनता ने चुनाव में दंड देने का काम किया है। मुझे लगता है इस बार भी गुजरात की जनता बैलेट बॉक्स के अंदर इसका जवाब देगी।
कितनी सीटें? कितनी सीटें?
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Around 7 a.m., a massive fire broke out in a plastic factory in Lilua area in Havra district of West Bengal. The factory was filled with raw materials which escalated the spread of the fire. As a result, thick smoke engulfed the nearby areas. As per initial report, some people were inside the factory while the fire broke out, but all were safely rescued and no casualties were reported. According to the fire department, 4 fire tenders tried to douse the fire. It is also alleged that no fire extinguishing system was installed inside the factory. Fire officials have stated that a detailed investigation has been launched, but the reason of the fire is yet to be confirmed. Bureau Report, Republic TV. In a fatal road accident, 6 people have lost their lives while 15 others severely injured in Uttar Pradesh's Bahraj. Initial reports suggest that the accident took place due to a collision between a roadways bus and a truck in Tapesipa area. Police teams rushed to the spot and injured were shifted to the nearest hospital.
प्राथमिकता के आधार पर पुलिस बल सवेरे से ही तैनात है। जैसे ही घटना की सूचना मिली, पुलिस के लोगों ने रेस्क्यू किया है और जो घायल हैं गंभीर रूप से उनका जिला अस्पताल में इलाज चल रहा है। से सामान्य घायल यहाँ CSC पर हैं और ये बाकी सारी चीज़ें इसकी जांच कराई जा रही है।
However, according to the officials, cause of the accident is yet to be confirmed. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Indian and US forces is underway in Oli of Uttarakhand. There's a drill which they are right now showcasing, and that's the search and rescue operation drill.
The NIA has targeted the gangster network in North India as raids are being conducted by the agency in parts of Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan. Congress President Malegaon during his address at a public meeting for the party's campaign in Gujarat last evening compared Prime Minister Modi with Ravan.
YS Sharmila, she was seated in a car. She wanted to drive till the CM's camp office, but she wasn't allowed. And then the police officials stored the vehicle. She was brought at the SR Nagar police station.
Taran district of Punjab. This was the second Pakistani drone that has been shot down by the border security force in past 24 hours in Punjab.
The Delhi police has filed a petition at the court getting this narco test done on December 1 and this
Well, the joint military exercise between India and United States has only spooked the Chinese. In fact, the Yudh Abhyas, which has been going on for several years put together, this is the 18th edition, which is underway in Oli in Uttarakhand. Republic Media Network is the only network getting you a ground report as this exercise is essentially carried out. And we have seen a short while back the Chinese essentially responding, saying that such exercises that are being carried out just very close to the line of actual control is not acceptable to them. But the fact of the matter is that India is essentially sending out a strong message about the preparedness and the fact that these joint exercises only shows the close cooperation between both the armies. Take a look at this special report filed by my colleague Piyush Mishra.
Exercise, both the armies are getting training as to how to do relief operations whenever a disaster occurs in mountain. Right behind me you can see as to how the US and Indian armed forces are coming down from that particular cliff using a stretcher. Remember that this is happening under the mandate of human resistance and disaster relief operations. Here you can clearly see as to how another drill is being showcased where US armed forces and Indian armed forces both are taking part in this joint operation, and they are now coming down from that particular cliff and they are trying to show as to how do they do disaster relief operations whenever any kind of tragedy or disaster occurs in mountainous areas. See, they are trying to tell us as to how a casualty has been brought down using that particular stretcher, and soon after that whenever a casualty is brought down from a cliff, they take that particular casualty on the stretcher to a nearby hospital for the further treatment. So here both the armies are taking part in joint exercise which is taking place right now in Tapovan. So we just showed you how the personnel of US and Indian Army shown that how did they rescue a person, a casualty who was stuck there on the cliff where when a disaster occurred. So narrative was given here that disaster has occurred, and because of the flash flood which has occurred in Joshimath, the bridge was collapsed, and when there was no connection between Joshimath and Malari, the person had to climb the mountain and rescue the people who were stuck on that particular cliff of this mountain. So here the rescue operation is taking place where the army personnel are trying to tell us, trying to showcase as to how do they do the rescue operations whenever any kind of disaster occurs in mountainous areas. This is Piyush Mishra with video journalist Rick in Top 1 for Public TV. Indian and US forces is underway in Oli of Uttarakhand. There's a drill which they are right now showcasing, and that's the search and rescue operation drill.
The NIA has targeted the gangster network in North India as raids are being conducted by the agency in parts of Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan. Congress President Malegaon Kharge, during his address at a public meeting for the party's campaign in Gujarat last evening, compared Prime Minister Modi with Ravan.
YS Sharmila, she was seated in a car. She wanted to drive till the CM's camp office, but she wasn't allowed. And then the police officials stored the vehicle. She was brought at the SR Nagar police station.
Taran district of Punjab. This was the second Pakistani drone that has been shot down by the border security force in past 24 hours in Punjab.
The Delhi police has filed a petition at the court getting this narco test done on December 1, and this has been accepted.
ये कानून 3 साल पहले पारित हो चुका है। अगर दम जिसके पास है वो चालू करा रहा हो। ये तो सेंट्रल कानून है, ये सेंट्रल लेजिस्लेशन है। मोदी सरकार के पास ये उनकी जेब में है।